So Humanity Gives proudly presents a summary of an article taken from The Economist magazine highlighting the plight of child brides in the United States. Did you know lots of marriages are happening as we speak, which are legal, and many of these children are actually as young as 12? Child brides in the United States. Now, before we begin, one must understand the definition of a minor. Minor are young girls under the age of 16. 23,500 minors were married in 2000. This number, thankfully, has dropped to 9,000 by 2010. However, factors and social norms that have led to this fall are, namely, school. And the two of them are higher rates of school attendance and a general societal dislike for such practice. Now, each state in the US has its own laws. For example, Connecticut has banned marriage before the age of 16, whereas Arizona, Florida and others are considering a law banning marriage under 18s with no exceptions. However, an investigation by Frontline, a public television program, found that between 2000 and 2015, more than 207,000 minors were married. 2/3 were 17, but 985 were 14, and 10 were just 12 years old. Now, Human Rights Watch and other activists are asking for a simple solution for all states in the United States to change the age of marriage to 18 with no exceptions. Now, common sense will tell you that there is a big difference between, let's say, a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old child. However, legally, they both fall under the same legislation. For example, let's say they were both victims of domestic violence. Neither could seek shelter, neither could lease a car, neither could file for divorce or legally work. Strangely, opponents to a ban on child marriages fall across the political spectrum. For example, on the right we have libertarians and religious conservatives who argue that marriage should be a choice made away from the state, that married minors can reduce the number of single mothers dependent upon the welfare state, and religious practices and customs have to be protected. Whereas on the left of the political spectrum, we have American Civil Liberties Union and the Planned Parenthood. Both have argued and defended marriage to minors as a ban, they say, would intrude on the right to marry. Compare the United States to some African states. In 2016, Gambia and Tanzania both outlawed this practice. Here we have a flag of Malawi, and in 2017 they banned marriage to under 18s. When Human Rights Watch investigated a report of child marriages in Nepal, several Nepalese politicians questioned why should they ban such a practice, which after all is allowed in the US. For better or for worse, many nations of the world look to the United States as a role model. So in conclusion, if we are going to challenge marriage to minors, we need the United States, firstly, to lead the way through succinct, uniform legislation banning all child marriages under the age of 18 with no exception. This was brought to you by Humanity Gives. Thank you, like, share and please subscribe.